going to be talking to the law students. So unfortunately, this is not for everyone. But if you do know law students, or you know anyone who is studying towards an LLB or who is planning on doing so, please share with them so that they can get the advice that I'm about to give. You know, there's many advice out there regarding this particular topic or subject area, but maybe they'll learn something from me as well. So, hi students, Lishap, are you well? How's lockdown? You know, how's it learning online? Tough, I can imagine, because yeah, no. Anyway, so I wrote some stuff here that I think will be beneficial for me to touch on. So when I was in high school, I remember one of the teachers, when we were choosing our subject modules for grade 10, 11, and 12, told us that if you want to do law in varsity, do history. I hated history in high school, so I did not take it as an elective or a subject. And I don't think it was a train smash, because the LLB program that would have been on the cards for me and the BCom Law program, BA Law, they didn't require history as a mandatory subject that you have to have done, in high school. I know there are other the other degrees in varsity where there are mandatory subjects that you must do in order to pursue a certain degree. Please look out for those. You know, if you're in high school, look out for the degrees that you need to, the subjects that you need to be doing in order to enter or to qualify to study towards a certain degree in varsity. Now, the options that are available to you when it comes to studying a law-related degree in varsity are BCom Law, BA Law, or LLB. And what we see happen is people do BCom, BA Law with LLB, which is a 5-year degree, as opposed to doing the LLB straight degree. Now, historically, the LLB degree was a postgraduate degree. So the guys who are older in the legal profession have a BProc degree, and then they have an LLB, which would have been their postgraduate degree. Even in America, I think the system there is that in order for you to study a law degree in America, you must have another degree before, like an undergraduate degree, the last I checked. Why is this important for this discussion? Because other people have asked me whether or not they should do BCom, BA Law, LLB, instead of just straight LLB. And my question is yes. My answer to that is yes. Because apparently the additional degree or the 5-year program or learning journey that you go through when you do a BCom, BA, LLB prepares you more for the legal profession than just a straight LLB degree. Also, you know, like in terms of learning, I think the BCom degree is a specific style or teaches you a specific way of thinking. The BA Law will probably do the same thing, and then if you combine that with an LLB, then you're a better candidate than a person who just did a straight LLB. There are also people who say the older generation are a more trained or better quality produced student because of the fact that they did a BProc LLB as opposed to a straight LLB. And I can understand. Imagine now we have all these kids coming from matric who go to varsity and they go into that straight LLB program. As much as I think everything is person specific, I agree with the argument that a person who just studied LLB in varsity is not as prepared for the profession as a person who has had an additional undergrad degree, which means more experience or more diverse learning, more years in school, all of that. I think all that sort of contributes to being a better lawyer when you actually start working. Right. Marks. I don't care about high school marks, okay? I don't have a single A on my national senior certificate. I don't. And I laugh at kids now today who used to brag about their 7.5 distinctions in varsity, because what now? They're the same now, huh? I'm not saying don't do well, but I mean, hear me out, okay? Your marks are important in varsity because they are the first impression that you give on prospective employers. So, an employer has nothing to go by or to go with except the CV that you hand in when you're applying for a job. And what's going to stand out from that CV is your varsity marks. In law specifically, first and second year marks, if you're doing an LLB. If it's a BCom BA law, then it's first, second, and third. Your BCom law or BA law marks will be important because you probably apply when you cross over to the LLB program. And if you're doing LLB, you will probably apply when you're in third year. Well, you must, because if you apply in your final year, you're applying too late. Law firms start looking for candidates already like 2 years before that candidate is supposed to start. Even now, the trend is to even start looking when the person is in second year. So you can start earlier looking for a job. All you have to do after that is maintain your marks, do well, and pass, right? So in terms of marks, because it's your first impression to the employer, they're important. But I personally say it's not the end all and the be all. As a compensation to marks, like if you're not like the best like student when it comes to marks, like I have a couple of A's from varsity, but not like the whole script is like distinction, distinction, distinction. What I compensated with is extra activities or things that I was doing on the side. Like I was in SRC, I had a part-time job, and also all the church activities that I did. So if you can also show on CV to the employer that you are versatile, that you're able to juggle multiple tasks at the same time, then that will compensate just the marks element, you know, because a lot of people with just straight A's really don't do anything else. So I'm saying see what other compensation you can make for not having the greatest of marks, but don't slack on the marks. I'm not saying be an A student the whole time, but do not just be about 50s. Don't, okay? How are you going to compete with other kids? Then apply early, like I said earlier. You should be applying from second year, or if you're in your LLB, or third year if you're doing BCom BA law, because law firms already start looking for kids at that time. And usually then there'll be a career day at varsities every year in every faculty. So at tax, for example, you would not miss career day or career fair or whatever, because they will set up there by the law library, and there's nowhere in a particular day you're not going to be heading towards the library. So even if, for instance, I didn't know that, oh, tomorrow's career fair at school, I would by chance pass a career day at school and then like go and find out, okay, what is this law firm, what do they do, who is this organization, all of that. So don't ignore those days where these people come. It's so important to know what the options out there are. For me, I didn't know about a lot of law firms, which is why I only applied to 3 law firms. And in hindsight, no, I should have applied to way more law firms than I did, because then I would have had more options. Also, it would be advisable for you to look at what the law firms specialize in, because maybe that's not a particular area of law that you're interested in, and you might inevitably end up practicing in something that was never really your interest. I also want to say that when you start working, and this is if you go to a law firm, that as much as the employer will say, ask you, which department do you want to practice in or whatever, really they choose for you, okay? Because if you've got more than one candidate attorney saying they want to go to, let's say, the family law department, only one person or however many candidate attorneys they choose in that department is going to go there, and somebody's going to be left out. So then they're going to put you in another department that has nothing to do with anything that you want to do, like me, and then you end up being a specialist or practicing in an area of law that you don't want to do, and that's all you know. Then what? I'm going to get to what you can do in those circumstances. So what are your options when you have your degree? Well, you can go to the bar and be an advocate. So you'll do your pupillage for the year, write your bar exams, and then you're an advocate. Or you can go to a law firm, do your articles, write your board exams, and then become an admitted attorney. Mind you, if you decide to be an attorney, if you don't want to do articles for 2 years, you can do law school, and then you only need to do articles for a year. Please correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Yeah, that's what I know. Oh, that's what I remember, that there's that alternative of going to law school and then doing articles for a year, as opposed to doing 2 years of articles plus the 4 board exams that you write. I will say, having done a BCom law degree as well, it helped me with my board exams, especially the bookkeeping exam, because that had a lot to do with like accounting and stuff. So I didn't have to spend that much time studying for the bookkeeping board exam because of my BCom law. See, there's another advantage of doing BCom BA instead of LLB. Sharp. Or if alternatively to becoming an advocate or an attorney, you can decide to work for a company in the legal department, what they call in-house lawyers or whatever. However, you're at a disadvantage, honestly, if you don't go the attorney route or the advocate route, because there's so much knowledge and experience that you gain from a law firm or from being at the bar that you're not going to gain in an in-house position if you have no prior experience in a law firm or at the bar. So I'm not saying never want to go in-house. I'm saying go in-house once you've acquired enough knowledge and experience from a law firm or from the bar, because those candidates are like, their career prospects are way better than a person who goes just in-house. And the difficult thing about it is that many will realize, if they didn't go to the bar, if they didn't do the articles, many will realize whilst they're in those in-house roles that actually I feel like I've reached my limit, or I feel like I can't go further because all the other roles require an admitted attorney or an advocate. Now I must go back. The problem with it is that, yes, you can go back, is that maybe by the time your career has progressed to such a level where you're earning a certain amount of money, and now you have to like decide, okay, I'm going to become a CA now. And that means salary cut. Money's not everything. If it's important, then do it, you know? And always make these career choices at an early stage of your career. Don't wait too late. If you think, I'm not sure, do it. If you feel like I'm not sure about what I'm doing, and you feel like I think I should go this route, do it. Even if it means, oh no, I'm gonna get a salary cut. It doesn't matter. Rather earlier in your career than later. At the end, I will share my career story, how it went and what happened and the decisions I had to make and where I am right now. I'm quite happy. The other advice that I would give students or people in the profession is to study further. Obtain all the qualifications that you can obtain. So apart from being an admitted attorney, you can also do your notary exams. Do that. You can do your conveyancing exams. Do that if you can. I hear that conveyancing exams are very difficult, especially for people who haven't practiced in the conveyancing department. But if you're ambitious and you know you can do it, don't let other people's experiences block you from doing what you want to. So go out and do those additional qualifications. Also, you can do a PG dip, postgraduate diploma, or a master's degree. Guys, study as much as you can. Also, in specific professions, there are other exams that people have to write, you know, to become IKTD practitioners. For example, when I was at the law firm that I started at, because I did predominantly trademarks at that firm, I started with my trademark group 1 exams, and I completed that. And then there's group 2s, and then there's your oral exam, and then once you pass that, you become a trademark practitioner. That's a additional qualification, you know. Now you're known to be this expert because, hey, on top of the fact that you've got this experience, you've also passed these specialist exams. So certain fields in the legal space might have additional qualifications that would enhance or advance your career. Do that. By the way, I'm writing group 2s this week, and I'm seeing fillet. Those exams are hard. I thought because I practiced in this area, I know. Did I not play myself? And then so let me tell you guys about my career journey. So the video was a bit long, so I decided to split it, and I will post a video of my career journey later in the week as a part 2 to this particular video. So in the meantime, please like, please share, please subscribe, and particularly please share with all LLB students, prospective LLB students, and even people in the legal profession. I think it might help them as well. But we all have our different journeys, and we all go through different things, and we all have different advices. Honestly, mine is not the end of the be-all of everything. What am I saying? It's just, you know, it's just part of the pool of information that is out there to law students. So I'll see you in part 2.